In a fire, something inside your home could pose a deadly risk for firefighters and maybe for you.
Tonight, 12 News uncovers the danger that may be hidden beneath your feet. Kent Wainscott is here with the results of an exclusive 12 News investigation.
And I want to show you something. This is a common manufactured wood eye joist. If you live in a newer home or you've had some extensive remodeling done, chances are you may have beams just like this holding up the floors in your home. It's lightweight, strong, and inexpensive to use, a perfectly good building material. But it has one very serious flaw.
He grabbed my strap and started dragging me toward what he perceived as a light source.
Milwaukee Fire Captain Ted Stribling lay unconscious and badly injured inside a burning home. The last thing he remembers was walking into the blaze alongside fellow firefighter Tony Rueda. He has no memory of what happened next.
Tony and I fell through the floor. Tony did not lose consciousness, and he rescued me.
The floor beneath their feet gave way, sending the two firefighters crashing to the concrete basement below. When he was pulled from the blaze, at first glance, firefighters thought Stribling was dead. But thanks to his colleague, both men escaped, injured but alive. Days later, when Stribling returned to the scene, he noticed something alarming.
And what I could see from the underside was these wafer-thin I-beams made of composites of wood and glue.
The older home had been remodeled with newer manufactured wood eye joists, like this one, supporting the floor.
Manufactured trusses, all along here, and they're all gone. The bottom plate's gone and the middle plate's gone.
Following the blaze, 12 News went inside that home with a Milwaukee firefighter and saw up close why those floor beams failed when the firefighter stepped on them.
One of these on top and one of those on the bottom. And they just burn up and separate.
They're perfectly good construction materials. They can make up just a fine home. The problem with them is they burn really quickly.
So quickly, in fact, that they've proven deadly for many firefighters. It happened in this Green Bay home in 2006. A veteran firefighter was killed when the floor collapsed below him, trapping him inside the blaze. And this is how a Department of Homeland Security report describes what happened last year when a Tennessee firefighter crashed through a hole in the floor of a burning home. A firefighter who had been behind firefighter Sean Doty reached down into the hole but was unable to reach his hand. Firefighters made contact with him but were unable to retrieve him. Firefighter Doty's remains were recovered after the fire was controlled. The floor that failed was constructed with engineered lumber.
There's very little warning time. Floors don't tend to sag before they fail, and so firefighters are being caught very much off guard with this type of failure.
Dr. Tom Schley is a fire instructor at Waukesha County Technical College, and he and his staff helped us demonstrate the danger these manufactured beams can pose to anyone in a fire. We lit a flame below both a manufactured eye joist and a traditional solid wood board, put a weight on top, and watch. All right, we're just 20 seconds into this. You can already see some charring begin here, much more so on the manufactured wood. The difference was noticeable from the start. Within 5 minutes, a hole began to form in the center of the I-beam. All right, we're 13 minutes into this blaze right now. The two cords, the end pieces of this I-beam, are still intact, barely. But the area in the middle, known as the web, you can see has long since burned away. At this point, just the bottom piece of the beam is all that's supporting the weight above it. And then moments later, it's gone. All right, less than 15 and a half minutes into that blaze, you can see this board failed, the manufactured wood, while the solid wood is still strong enough to step on. 15 minutes and 21 seconds after the first flame, perhaps just the time firefighters might be entering a burning building.
They'd be possibly doing search and rescue, maybe making an interior fire attack.
In my job, when you see a house, you look at it and try and imagine what it's going to look like when it's on fire. And these houses will burn really fast.
That's the danger, one which might force firefighters to reassess how they battle a blaze, to take a more defensive approach, and perhaps take less risk entering a building. And that could pose a danger to anyone.
It's not just firefighters that are at risk here, it's homeowners too.
It's the general public that has to be concerned, because that means the building might burn a little bit longer because it's going to take me that much longer to get up that staircase.
So, what's being done? Well, we checked with the Metropolitan Builders Association of Milwaukee, who is aware of the concerns that these beams can pose in a fire. They tell us that the building industry takes fire protection very seriously and that the products that they use meet all building codes. They also say that the industry is currently investing in research, working to develop new fire-resistant building products, and is working to educate firefighting agencies on how best to fight fires involving the most common building materials used today. Firefighters, meanwhile, tell us this is a hazard that they simply have to be aware of and prepare for, so that when they respond to a fire, if they think that the building materials being used are the kind that are going to fail more quickly, they are just going to have to take that into account when they decide when and how to enter a burning home.
And what about the homeowners? Is there anything that can be done to make this safer?
Yeah, not the beams specifically, but some fire officials say residential sprinklers are a great safety tool. But really, the best advice for anyone is just practice good fire safety, because, these beams can pose a hazard several minutes into a home fire after the fire breaks out. But by that time, smoke can be the real problem and even greater danger. So bottom line, make sure you have a good working smoke detector and a good escape plan. Hopefully, if there's a fire, you're out of the house before the floors fail. Unfortunately, firefighters are often going into the home at that time.
Very interesting information. I'm sure there'll be a follow-up. Thanks a lot, Kent.